Hello again, it's your friendly neighborhood host, JT Wheatley, back for another episode of the History of Comics podcast. As I mentioned last episode, I'm in the middle of my season break, as well I'm still building up my bank for starting season 2. But until then, I didn't want to leave you with something, therefore I'm going to start reviewing what I'm calling the classics, the essential comic books I think everyone should read. Starting off with one of my all-time favorite Batman comic book story, Batman The Long Halloween. This was a 13-part mini-series, well, actually maxi-series, since it went over for 13 issues. They ran from 1996 to 1997 that featured Batman and was basically a year or two storyline early in his career as he's fighting with the Commissioner Gordon and then the District Attorney Harvey Dent to take down the Falcone crime family. All while a new serial killer has appeared called Holiday, who for some reason kills people on the specific holidays, with the first issue, of course, dealing with Halloween, then moving on to Thanksgiving, Christmas, and so forth. This was written by Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale, who had previously done a brilliant Scarecrow Batman Halloween specials together a few years back, and was approached by DC to do another one. The result was a classic mystery that over 13 issues has Batman, the mob, and the police all searching to figure out who is Holiday, why is he killing his people, juxtaposed against a great crime story. That also featured all his classic characters from the Joker, Catwoman, who has an interesting integration into the story. It also has new layers to Harvey Dent's ultimate origin. Of course, you know how he turns out to be. Jeph Loeb's writing is brilliant, with great writing, a true mystery where you find yourself looking for the clues, and each issue is wonderfully cast with each holiday. For instance, the April Fool's Day issue, which comes in the middle, is brilliant. It has a great twist ending that really catches up the readers for this 13-part series, and is worth checking out just alone for that. Jeph Loeb's writing, but Tim Sale's art is gorgeous and moody. It depicts Batman as a brilliant but shadowy Hulk, and the coloring is gorgeous. You can see why Tim Sale and Jeph Loeb after this became one of the best writer-artist pairing in comic books. It would lead to them to go, of course, with the direct sequel, Batman Dark Victory, which incorporated Robin's origin into the story. And then later they will do Superman for All Seasons, Catwoman When in Rome, and then to move over to Marvel, where they do Hulk Gray and Spider-Man Blue, and of course the classic Daredevil Yellow. Just a great classic issue. Like I said, my favorite Batman story, and so good that for the Absolute Edition, which I own, Christopher Nolan, the director of the Dark Knight movie, and his co-writer David Goyer, cited this as one of the principal influences for their Batman movies, particularly Dark Knight. And when you read this comic book, you'll definitely see it. The Dark Knight, there was a lot to this story, and they openly acknowledge it, and it's great. It also shows why The Dark Knight is easily one of the best comic movies ever made, because it does show such a great reverence to the source material. So with that, definitely go out and check out the Batman The Long Halloween in whatever format you can find. It's usually in soft and hard cover format, and of course I have the Absolute Edition, which is a pricey at $50, but they're some of the best ways to read DC Comics. And now, of course, first the current comic books. My favorite comic book of the week, Criminal, number 5, by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, which starts off a new story arc that finds Detective Dan Faraday, a private detective tasked with tracking down a rich man's mistress, only to discover that, of course, not all is what it seems. Brubaker sits on another great story, this time with a great character in Faraday, who is great at tracking down the missing persons, but has a few demons in his past that keeps him from being an all-around good person, but definitely an interesting one. Phillips' art is crime noir's perfection, and it honestly looks like if they ever wanted to do a comic book of The Wire or Breaking Bad, you hire Sean Phillips. He would be perfect for the job. Overall, just another great story arc, but a cool twist, because the character from a previous story arcs is now mentioned, showing that Brubaker is slowly building a cool and integrated universe. And with that, join me again next week while I'll introduce another Classics episode during our season break. And until then, go out and enjoy yourself a good comic book. And of course, go out and enjoy yourself Batman The Long Halloween. That is a true classic.